Hey everybody, this is Nawaz Modi Singhania of the Body Art Fitness Centers going live with you today. Good to see you guys joining in. Fabulous. So, hi everybody. Great seeing you all. So, today we have a very interesting session happening. I have to say that I first met this wonderful lady and came across her fabulous brand, Morning Fresh, that I want to bring to you. Hey everybody, great seeing you all coming in. Kavita, hi. And yes, all of you, hi. Fabulous seeing you all in 1D in a nice safe space, isn't it? And Sumit, hello. Sharad, hi. Fab. Okay, so let me get on with it. So, very recently, I was judging the Times of India online award, entrepreneurship award of 2020 Pan India, and was very pleasantly surprised to find that while I was judging various cities, they got with the times and they actually went online. And we did it all in a virtual space over Zoom, of course. And there on the Bangalore segment of it, I ran into a lovely girl, Mitali Tandan, whose brand Morning Fresh very much impressed me. Let me tell you why. So, it is a liver detox drink. We don't propagate drinking, and I'll get into that in a while. But it is a liver detox drink that I found amazing. It works on increasing your immunity. Sayed Ari, Jamad, hi, Rohit. Okay, so it takes care of all the dehydration that occurs with drinking. It replaces all the lost electrolytes, etc. And I want to get this lovely girl in with us right away without much ado. So give me a moment while I do just that. There we are. She's just coming in. Anyway, so hey Mitali, wonderful seeing you. Everyone, Mitali of Morning Fresh. So how have you been?
I've been lovely. Thank you very much for the introduction.
And so Bangalore is Mitali's from Bangalore, by the way. Bangalore's in a better space than Bombay, isn't it?
So far, so good.
Yes, exactly. I think that's the operative phrase.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to start off by saying, Mitali, that while of course I don't propagate drinking, coming from the health, fitness, wellness space, particularly not now in the middle of COVID. Sayed, Shirley, hi everyone. Mitali, say hi.
Hi.
Okay. And Pankaj, good to see you guys. Okay, so especially not now in the middle of COVID, because obviously drinking dips the immunity, and which is the last thing you need right now in COVID. Really need a strong immune system. It also dehydrates you, which again is the last thing you want. I mean, we are trying to, if we think we're infected, we want to immediately drink up, keep the vocal cords, etc., well hydrated. We want to steam, etc. So that's also what we don't want right now. It is a huge depressant. Drinking alcohol is a huge depressant, and anyway, we have ample of that around now, don't we? We don't want to add to it. Other socio-economic problems then also give rise when drinking comes into the fray. So you have domestic violence coming in then, because we are trapped in small areas, many of us, with many a times our aggressors, and especially if right now you're trapped in with people, family that you earlier didn't get along with. Oh my God, this is a nightmare in motion. And to
Yeah.
be drinking in the environment of this, as my cousin well called it, this corona coaster, meaning this emotional roller coaster that, we're all
Right.
on as a civilization of feeling, oh my God, so scared, so worried. Um, Job loss, life loss, don't know what's happening, business loss, everything you counted upon in the real world no longer exists. There's so much trepidation, insecurity, bitterness, anger, fear,
All of
corona
it.
coaster.
Yes.
And in the middle of that, the last thing you want to add is this sort of drinking, sitting at home, and then domestic violence, not only in the form of physicality, but often our words are much sharper than the arm, right? That, like they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. So all that sort of damage. Hey, Kaushal, how are you doing? Good coming in. And Karan as well. We've got lots of people who've joined us today. This is a very interesting topic. So, I have to say that although we don't propagate drinking this way, alcoholism is on the rise at this point. We are well aware of that also. I don't know why. Perhaps we want to, some people in society want to put, themselves in an alternate frame of mind, kind of get some temporary relief. Maybe it's out of boredom, nothing else to do, this whole atmosphere. And if one has to drink, then, oh my God, one has to come to you. What a fabulous product. Yeah, so let me first introduce you on a little bit on your product. I believe that your product does a lot for negating some of these aspects of drinking, like immunity and stomach acidity. Could you tell us a bit about it?
So I mean, one of the things that I did want to address was I know that a lot of the things that you talked about were quite the extreme cases and are obviously getting highlighted and amplified during the COVID time. But I think the idea is obviously to be mindful about consumption. There are lots of drinkers who are quite careful or use it to sort of unwind at the end of the day. So generally, to sort of set context is that we are talking to people that should be mindful about their consumption.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We're talking about the ones who add all the problems to societal issues. Anyway, you're right. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll quickly introduce the product. It's called Morning Fresh, and we're based out of Bangalore, although we're available pan-India through online and offline. They come in little detox drink sizes, so you can see little 60 ml beverages.
Oh, that's nice. Could you bring it a bit closer in?
Yeah.
Okay, are those different flavors?
They're different flavors, and they also come in sort of pack of 4, so you can get them off the retail shelf or on Amazon or on our website or Big Basket or multiple platforms. But essentially what the product does is that when you're drinking alcohol, the toxins that alcohol produces in your body is actually what can lead to liver damage and lots of the other negative effects to your body. So what Morning Fresh does is help it break down and flush it out of the system so that none of that stays in your body longer than it needs to. So there isn't any liver damage, and all the ingredients that we include in there is what helps you sort of recover and build your immunity back up.
Okay, that's fabulous. And obviously that takes care of the stomach acidity and
that takes care of your stomach lining as well.
And I'm guessing that's also how we kind of get over it faster in terms of the hangover is limited. Is that right?
Exactly.
Super. And can you tell us a little bit about replacing the electrolytes and the water content that we lose?
Sure. So it's actually, so alcohol has an effect on the body that also is a diuretic effect. So when you are drinking, you will often find that you also need to go to the restroom a lot. And that's because all of the water content, because of the alcohol, is leaving your system. And a large part of a hangover is a headache. And that's usually caused because of extra dehydration from the body, which is why you'll naturally find yourself either in between drinks or the morning after drinking a lot of water because you need to put that into your system. That's something that we've recognized obviously as a concern for people. So we've also have our newer product called Morning Fresh Pop, which is in a sachet form. which has added electrolytes. So you can sort of tear it, put it in a glass of water, mix it, and it replenishes all the salts and electrolytes that you would have lost during the process of drinking. So you feel much better the next morning.
Thank you. I just want to clarify with all our viewers that the product she's showing us is not Chinese. It looks like that because you're seeing mirror image, so it's ulta.
Yeah.
So you're not
Sorry,
actually seeing the.
I don't know if I can give you
No, because we're seeing a mirror
Yeah.
image, so your morning fresh
Yeah.
reads like, oh my God, that's not English. So I just want to clarify that we're just seeing a mirror image. That's what it is. And okay, also heard that you have fabulous ingredients in there, which are really good for the body. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So it's got 3 key ingredients. Vitamin C, which we all know is great for the immunity and helps with your skin and fight lots of other antibodies in your body. Mulberry leaf extract, which is the antioxidant component. And we have protein, which is the main ingredient, which is what helps support your liver. So if you don't mind, I can explain the science behind it a little bit, but maybe in a simpler fashion. So all bodies have the potential to break down alcohol. All of us do today. But the longer or the faster we drink, your liver isn't able to keep up, which is why it's working overtime. And the overtime working is what leads to both short-term and long-term liver damage. So what we're doing with Morning Fresh, when you reintroduce it into the body after a night out, you're actually supporting your liver back to its optimum best function, so that when you wake up, it's already done its job, got everything out of your system, and you're much fresher. However, we've also make sure that there's no sugar and no caffeine in it. And if you are gluten or dairy intolerant, it's also safe for you to have, because we understand that that's an inclusive part of society that we need to consider with this product.
Right. Thank you. That was useful. By the way, we've had lots of people saying hello to us and complimenting us. Dashant, Baba, Vita, Reena, Soumya, Kaushal, Yasin, hi everyone. Yogi, love seeing you every time. Hi. Thank you. That was really useful, Mithali. Also, I find that there are a variety of things that we think of in terms of drinking, which may or may not really be so. Could you tell us if we're on the right track or not? So, Arman, hi, how are you? Okay, so would you tell us, for example, we do think that, okay, before a big night of drinking, Dheeraj, hi, Kumar, hi. Okay, so before a big night of drinking, should we be lining the stomach with carbohydrates or butter? Some people just go with a wad of butter. Oh my God. What is the right way of doing it?
I've had a lot of fun, I have to tell you, visiting the market and speaking to so many customers, because there's so much information out there. And I think there is such a thing as too much information, because everyone sort of has their own versions of what works for them. So I think the first thing that I would like to say is that you should listen to your body, because everyone's makeup is quite different, and you should definitely stick to what works for you. But in general, the myth is that you definitely should never drink on an empty stomach. But what we often tend to do is load up on carbs, because you think it soaks it up. Unfortunately, the way the body processes it is carbs can actually help you will make sure you're more nauseous the next morning. So what I would suggest is protein. Protein actually slows down the absorption of alcohol in the body. So if you are a non-vegetarian, maybe eggs, chicken, things like that is what you want to eat before. And for a vegetarian, paneer, dal, lentils, things like that, eating before is much healthier to help you align your stomach.
Wow, didn't know that. And who would have thought that? We all just hit the butter or the carbs
Bread,
of sorts, right? Bread, sandwich. So, oh, a whole lot more people saying hello and lovely compliments coming in. Mickey, Omkar, Ashish, Tylen, Aran, Mohit, and Chelu. That was just one Mohit, but I love him. So, hi. Okay, so, all right, now another one is that to be able to get over a hangover, good idea would be the next morning to chug down some coffee. What are your thoughts on that? No?
No.
Okay.
I know there are lots of coffee lovers, and I don't mean to get on their bad side. Coffee is great for a regular work morning, but for the morning after when you're hungover, you're already got a high acid buildup. You're already very dehydrated, and coffee can actually make all those things worse for you because coffee is also a diuretic. Will lead to further dehydration. It adds to the acidity, so it can heighten your nausea. All it will do is give you a very quick pick-me-up because it activates a neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is the pleasure center of the brain. And it will make you feel better for a quick period of time, which is why you might think that it's helping. But actually, once the caffeine wears off, it probably does more damage to your body. So my recommendation would be to stick to something like water, coconut water, anything that can replace your electrolytes.
Coconut water is good, yeah?
Coconut water is good.
Right. So, but doesn't coffee kind of wake you up when you need to be woken up? You know, because of that heaviness and the hangover. What about that?
So that's why I say I think it's just a temporary spike. That's what caffeine gives you. But once that wears off, you still have lots of the other symptoms, which is dehydration, which is stomach lining. I mean, your gut can be quite harmed after putting that much more caffeine in. So I would suggest stick with caffeine only for the Monday mornings when you're running late and you need to get back to work on time.
Yeah, thank you for that. Many more hellos, and we got a couple of questions. So I'm going to firstly, Rajiv has sensibly said that Rajiv, hi, that coffee is dehydrating, a temporary stimulus. As you were talking, that also came in. Yes, of course. And we have Bharat, Sandeep, Rohit. Mayanak, Abhi, Gary, many of you saying hi. So hi back from us both. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So how do you get a hold of your product? Where does one kind of find it?
So I'm going to say online now because that's probably the safest way for everyone to get it delivered to their house. So Amazon, our website, Flipkart, Big Basket. If you're in Bangalore, both Dunzo and Swiggy carry it as well. But essentially, if you are anywhere where you can find alcohol, you should be able to find our product because we're speaking to the same customer.
Oh, that's fabulous. So in alcohol stores?
Yes. So normally I would want you to reach out at an alcohol store, but I know that it's safer to order online today. So I suggest just ordering online on our website, and we deliver within 24 hours.
Oh, that's fabulous. Even in this environment, you deliver in 24 hours?
Dunzo and Swiggy have been fantastic partners to make sure that happens.
Oh, that's fabulous, guys. You're listening 24 hours and you're good to go. Okay.
Yeah, Dunzo is even shorter. I mean, you probably get it in a couple of hours.
Wow. God, just a couple of hours. Wow. Guys heard that? Amazon, Flipkart, many other outlets, their own website. The brand again is Morning Fresh. So thank you for that. I am cheap thrill of mine. So I am just over delighted with, I have to share this with you guys. Did you know this? That when the real world existed, we're still Bombay, you know, so excuse me. But, you know, when the real world, let's say, more existed or more safely existed, we didn't know, I didn't know that Morning Fresh and Mithali has this fabulous tie-up with Uber so that you don't drink and drive. I guess on some level, your Uber driver gives you the drink or something like that. Is that right? And you get home safely. What's that all about?
No, so it was something that we had done with Uber previously, more to remind people of two things. One, if you're going to make sure you get home safe physically so you don't drink and drive, you must book an Uber. And the second was if you're going to get home safely, you also want to treat your body well. So make sure you stay fresh and wake up okay the next day.
That's very smart. You know exactly where your target customer is, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, what about bars, restaurants, or is that maybe a future plan? Hey, Mickey. Yes, Mickey says you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And he's going to grab your product soon.
I look forward to it.
You'll get it in 2 hours if you order it now, Mickey. Okay. All right. So go ahead.
So yeah, bars and restaurants, we have had lots of amazing partners for a while. But I think, again, we have to consider current scenario, new normal, coronavirus, how things are going to happen. So
Right.
I would still suggest that online is the best place, because I know most people would prefer to be drinking in moderation at home, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. All right. So can you tell us a little bit about it? It's so interesting that you do this. When and how did you get into this? Did you have some interesting story behind how you came about doing this yourself?
Yeah, most people think it's because we've all had a lot to drink, and everyone knows how bad it feels the morning after.
Bangalore, Bangalore. Okay.
But it's a little more scientific than that. So we actually found a gap in the market. We know that lots of Indian people are well traveled, and there are solutions like this outside of India, but there isn't anything available for consumers looking for a healthy solution to sort of balance both the fun and the health aspect of it. So I teamed up with an R&D lab based in Bangalore. We did a lot of research, lots of primary research, lots of secondary research, speaking to a lot of customers to understand what their concerns are, what kind of products are they looking for, what are the pain points, what are the health aspects that they would be keen to sort of find on the shelf, and then backward engineered to develop a product. And that's why the ingredients, that's why completely natural, that's why gluten, sugar-free. These are all products of us doing extensive research to understand that this is something that in India and young India would appreciate, and we need something like this on our shelves.
Thank you. Wonderful service, I have to say. Yes. What about other maybe traditional sort of methods like the Alka-Seltzer sort of popping?
So Alka-Seltzer has been an old favorite, I think, among lots of people. One thing to point out is that Alka-Seltzer also has paracetamol in it, and was initially only meant for settling your stomach. I don't think it was meant for a hangover cure. It's sort of morphed into that because that also has some effect on the body. Our product, we've chosen to keep it fully natural so that you're not putting that many toxins back in, because with drinking, you're anyway putting a lot of sugar and many other things depending on what your beverage choice is. But this specifically focuses on the liver, and we've made sure that it's natural so that none of those other toxins or chemicals are going back into your body.
So you don't recommend taking an Alka-Seltzer with your product, but instead of it?
I would suggest that, because, for example, if you were drinking at a wedding, and a traditional Indian wedding would be a 3-day long celebration with lots of festivities and consumption back to back. If you were going to put that much Alka-Seltzer or that much paracetamol into your body, over and above what you've already been consuming, I don't know how good that is for your system.
Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you, and many more hellos. Rohan, Abu, Rachika, Gopal, Dinesh, Montu, and Siroz. Okay, so let's get going. Yeah, hey Usman, lovely seeing you. One of my trainers. Okay, so right, next one. I wanted to know, so your company is how old?
We've been in the market 3 years now.
3 years. Okay, great. And so it's a single product, right?
It's a single product concept with multiple SKUs.
Fabulous, fabulous. And may I know what your price point is?
We start, so our sachets are a little less expensive. They start at $150 for a pack of 3. So they usually come in a box like this with 3 of these inside in multiple flavors. Sorry, you said it was upside down, but maybe I can send you.
No, just mirror image, not upside down. Yeah, backside, front. I don't know how to say it, but people get the point. It's a mirror image, so can't read it. Yeah.
They start from 50 a sachet to about 100 for a bottle. But depending on the volume, we have multiple discounts that we offer.
So how much are you, you use 1 sachet per time that you need it? Is that right?
Correct.
So it's anywhere between, so each time that I zone out on alcohol and I need your product, is it right to say that my expense on your product would be 50 to 100 rupees, something like that?
Correct.
Right, right. Okay, that's very reasonable. That's fabulous. And anyone else having anything to ask, please do. But I found Mithali so interesting and her product so useful and fabulous that I said I have to get her on live. And by the way, This is the first time I've gone Insta Live in terms of inviting anybody on. I've been invited, but I've never actually invited anyone on. So I'm glad I managed to work the technology. For somebody like me, it's a tall order.
So I think someone's asked in the comments what your favorite drink is.
Thank you for noticing that. I was busy talking.
No. So I let you answer that first.
Me, my favorite drink. After this, it has to be yours. I've not tasted it. I've tasted it in my mind, and it has to be my favorite. Although I have to tell you, I'm not sitting indoors and drinking at all. I do drink, but I'm very much a social drinker, and it's only when I'm out and about, and that's not been the case naturally for a while. But what is my favorite drink? Otherwise, smoothies, I have to say, because yes, just you can chuck in all those berries and all those yum things and get the good gut for the flora as well from the yogurt. So it's naturally sweetened because of the fruit, nothing added in. And yes, somebody says you're super smart and ambitious and a fabulous young entrepreneur, and I have to agree. I really enjoy judging you out there and want to wish you all the best. It's a wonderful service, and I know everybody else is echoing that as well. So all the very best.
Sent you a bunch of products so that you can also check it out for yourself.
Love to, for when I hit the bottle. All right, I'm good, but yes, please do all the very best. And I think 1-2 more comments coming in. Just sweet stuff. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Love that, and hope you got value out of that. Thank you, Mitali, and catch up with you on the shelf maybe.
Absolutely.
Take care. All the best. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye all. Right, guys. So I hope you got value out of that one. I thought she was absolutely fabulous, and hope it comes to good use for you. Love seeing you all. Thank you for joining again, and stay safe, stay well, drink safe, and all the very best.